Alrighty, welcome. There we go. All the sensors are now paired, which is important for the ride. Okay, first thing I'm going to do tonight on this ride here, and as the stream is entitled, Titans Grove with the Kickr CLIMB. Titans Grove does this a lot. The Kickr CLIMB does this a lot. So we'll see how it reacts. We'll see how it goes. So almost straight into it. And I've got a second webcam down here of the climb, so you should be able to see it go up and down. I'm hoping you'll see it go up and down. But we'll soon find out how it looks. So yeah, straight into it. Anyway, let us know how you're going. Questions, Q&As, always welcome. How's the new bike? Yeah, brilliant, look at this. So the question is about the new bike I'm on here. Look at this, what a beast. Racks on the back there. It's brilliantly ugly, this bike. Where's the side profile shot? There we go, that's the best one you want. Okay, Kickr CLIMBs are working. That should have come up on screen because I can feel the resistance kick in. I'm on the core as well, so it's compatible with the climb. Oh, and then we go down. Beeps all around. Oh, okay, that was my first gear change in Di2, which wakes the system up, so... Alrighty. There we go, it's going up! It's probably going to go off the screen. So you'll see the climb go up and down there. That's a second camera on the front wheel. Oh, man. And come on, get down, get down. There we go. So yeah, that number up the top there, the percent, is what to watch, and that thing there. It's the small things that amuse me. As you've probably seen in my last couple of videos, it's the small things that amuse me, like firmware updates and spending 3.5 million drops on this bike. So, all good. Alrighty, questions coming through already, awesome. What's the best trainer price quality ratio? Whoa. Straight into the hard questions. Look, it depends. It depends on your budget. Do you want wheel on, wheel off? Do you want quiet? Do you want loud? What's your tolerances for power? Do you want it accurate? Do you want it not accurate? Mid-range is probably where a lot of people are buying now, is the mid-range zone, which Elite really pioneered with the Duretto 2 years back. This is cool. So to answer the question about the you can see on screen they're going off, and it's going to flip me up. Okay, I like this. The novelty is fun. Woo! It's pretty responsive too. -3, -2, -1, -4, 5, 6, 7. Up it goes. 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm just going to enjoy this for the rest of the ride. I'll just go up and back on Titans Grove. So back on the question about which one. Test ride if you can. Shortlist a few. Look at a few reviews online. Look at customer service feedback. Amazon reviews maybe. Don't get too tied up in it. Purchase from somewhere who'll have your back after sales as well. And go from there. But there's no... It's no longer 2014 where the answer is get yourself a Kickr, you're done. Or 2012, get yourself a Lama and you're done. It's harder these days. Yeah, the core had issues in the beginning. Yeah, of course it did, but they're gone. So that's the legacy of the core. It's always going to be the trainer that had issues. The flux. You say the word flux and people go running. There's been 3 or 4 different fluxes out there since, but people still run. That's why it's going up and down like... I was going to say a word that will get me kicked off here. It's fun though, I like it. It just keeps catching me out. No real noticeable lag. You can see it here, it's in real time, what you're seeing on the screen and what you're seeing that do. It's not horrible at these speeds. I think at bunch speeds, going flat out, it'd feel kind of weird. Can anything beat a Lamont? Probably not for ride feel, because wind is a really, wind and a massive flywheel is just this really nice curve, but it's not smart. So, and it's loud, and it doesn't support through axle. Ready for the drop? Woo. So the descents on the Kickr Climb are halved, which means if you're seeing a negative 10%, it will only actually go to -5. There's no real fun in sticking your nose through the front of your bike indoors. No Eurobike for me this year, no. We've had our own delivery recently, and it's going to be easier for me to cover Eurobike from here. Last year, Eurobike was, all the work we do is prior to Eurobike. And then it's just the embargo dates that we just hit go. So that's why we're over in Europe a few weeks back, catching up with a few companies over there. Alright. Okay, so the Kickr Climb. Here's the report after, what, 6 minutes? 6 minutes 30. It livens the course up. I'm here talking, looking at the questions, but it's reminding me to go up and down and look at the screen and see what's different. That's usually the positive % gradient. I'll do a few laps back and forth. The novelty might wear off, it might not. Alrighty, where are we? So we're nearly at a small descent in that 2-minute climb, depending on how fast you're going. Woo, up we go. Matthew Patterson asks, do I genuinely use power data from my trainer or power meter? You just got it for Vero pedals and using the Kickr, sticking with trainer at the moment. Yep, Matthew, I stick with the trainer power. And if the trainer power isn't within range of the pedal power, then I'm not happy. Mainly because I feel it's a bit quicker to respond in erg. The erg experience is just a little bit better, sometimes a lot better, when you're using the internal power meter of the trainer rather than an external source, which adds another point in the loop where, you know, you're doing 250, yes, no, higher, lower, here's some resistance. Are you doing 250, yes, no, higher, lower, here's some more resistance or less resistance. That loop becomes a little bit longer when you add another power meter in there. Oh, this thing's going off. So having that in the trainer is typically a little quicker. And most of the time I'm checking out or testing trainers' response times and power accuracy against other power meters. So if I was to use Power Match, then I'm not really testing the trainer, only the trainer's resistance. Beeps all round. Beep, beep, beep. And yes, as per yesterday's video, I am running the beta firmware on the 1030. It's a pity there's no Climb Pro indoors. Am I saving up for this Super 9 wheel set? I haven't looked. Oh, the 858/Super 9. I haven't looked. Let's whack this on 300. Get a bit of a warm up done. It's a nice little warm up hill, this one. Two minutes at 300. That's pretty neat. Okay, yes, issues with the core are ironed out. If they're not, they wouldn't be selling them. I never encounter them. You hear the squeaky wheels online. If I encountered them, actually, I wanted to encounter them. The issues with the 18 and the core. That way I could have made a video on how to fix them. But mine are okay. Oh, RIP my heart rate. Oh, someone just subscribed. And unfortunately I put the climb behind it. Sorry, I'll fix it on OBS now. There we go. Solid warm up. Where's those rocks? There we are. Done. And down goes the... cheers for the subscribers coming through. That really helps things out. That start of that course just then, what is it, 5 kilometers? That is a perfect trainer warm-up course. You start just outside of Titans Grove, do the overs and unders, short climb, 2-minute climb. That should be enough to warm up any trainer. If you've got a wheel-on trainer and you want a good warm-up, that's it. That's the one to do. The course or the path dictates the effort pretty much. So, whew. I'll just spend the next hour recovering from that, having a chat with everyone. But again, you can see the climb going up and down here. It's doing well. That shining light on it wasn't even meant to be there. I just flicked on a light as I walked in the room and it's glowing. Alrighty, back to the questions. So I can rant all day, but I do love the questions here. Turn around and go for the comm. What was the comm? 148? Yeah. Look, the thing about a 2-minute effort like that, or maybe even a 1:30 effort, just the same as Watopia Wall, you can really go crazy hard, because the harder you go, the faster it is and it's over. So let's just say you can't go hard for 2 minutes, but if you go a little harder for 1.5 minutes, 90 seconds, you're done, you're there. That's pretty cool. I do like that. Okay. Oh yes, if you have the companion app, you can drop a few ride-ons, you'll see them come through on the stream too. I have that sitting in front of me. I wonder if I can show you. Just here, that's the little setup I have. The iPhone 6, I think it is, which is what's mirrored over the other side of the screen there. Whew. Solid warm-up, and it gets the brain into pedal mode, rather than if you just start a ride and you're just not feeling it. I always tend to go for 20 minutes and then pull the pin. If I'm not feeling good after 20 minutes, I pull the pin. Or you change the ride plan. That gets the heart going within 10, so solid stuff. Go for that level 49. Hey, we're almost there. We're almost there. In the app, it tells me I'm level 50. Let's have a look at this. Phone focus. Not there. Can I get to dashboard? And myself. There we go. See, if you have a look there, it says I'm level 50. Which isn't quite the case. I did that a couple of weeks back, and it feels like I'm accelerating to level 50 a lot faster. I'm on the old legacy numbers of upgrades, so I had all the points required to get to level 50, but then they did the shuffle and put everyone back to level whatever it was. So I'm still making up time there. But we're almost there. We should get that level 50 in this ride. Level 50, do I think they'll introduce more levels again? I hope not. There's a little bit of confusion around XP points drops and levels and challenges, and then the regular challenges every month, so it's getting a bit too complex. If you're a newbie to Zwift and you have to sit a course for probably an hour and a half to figure out what all those things are, it's probably a bit too hard. Maybe scrap XP altogether and just go for drops. I'm not sure. But it's all, it's what computer games do these days. But yeah, it's an identity thing. Is Zwift a computer game? Or is it a training platform? Or is it both? Can they be both? Or is Zwift an entertainment company? We sort of don't really know. That's my long-winded answer on that. Alrighty, what does warming up the trainer do? What does it affect? Asks Pete M. Wheel off trainers, like direct drive, like you're seeing down here. I'm on the Kickr Core. The picture doesn't have a cassette. This one's got a cassette. Not much. Not much for warming up these ones. There's slight variances in the belt temperature and bearings and everything. Early on, it's worth doing a few times. But wheel-on trainers are where it's at for warming up, because you've got that tyre metal interface. So tyre type, tyre pressure, tyre wear, tube type will affect the power readings. If you have your own power meter on the bike, it's not an issue. You use a smart trainer as a resistance unit. But it does have that lag in erg, as I've mentioned before. Watch the road, Shane, I might crash. Done enough real crashing in my time. Oh, this thing's still coming to life. What is better, Zwift or Sufferfest? That's entirely your call. It's entirely your call. It's a Kickr or a Neo thing. It's a Garmin versus an Element thing. Depends what you want to use it for and how you use it. What's my go-to power meter at the moment? Any recommendations for a first power meter? The Asioma Duos have remained on the bike. I don't get attached to too much tech. I went to reach for it, the Varia radar's not there. I'm attached to that. I don't care whether it's a 4i, whether it's a Shimano, whether it's a Asioma P1, P2, Vector 3, whatever. As long as the data I get out of it is clean and correct, accurate, precise, etc., then I'm happy. And the Asiomas have stayed on the bike. So if that's a recommendation, do with it what you will. Purchase them locally. If you can, support your local bike shop. Or your favourite online store, whatever. My replacement Vector 3s after, hey, level 49. Oh, that's a special time. One to go, then we're at level 50. Yeah, the Vector 3s I had an interesting relationship with the Vector 3s early on. They're okay now, but 3 times bitten, 4 times shy, I think would be the term for those. But the ones I have now are fine. I put in those CN1 batteries. Let's go back again. Do that course. Down arrow is a quick U-turn, as long as you're moving. All right. Now we may have issues with the USB because it is, I don't know, my Windows machine has 8 USB devices plugged into it at the moment, and I'm getting overpower errors. So if the climb happens to not move, we know what's going on. Back up the climb. So if you've just joined, the percentage you see on top of the screen there, the grade percent, I've got my camera angled a bit this way. The Kickr CLIMB will be doing that. And getting me, reminding me that there's a hill here. It just brings these hills to life. Again, people ask, is it worth it? Is spending all the money on these kind of toys worth it? It never is. But if you take it away, once you've had it, you want it back. So that's how I measure worth, or value, or fun. Here we go, down again. Nigel Doyle, loving my Asioma Duo pedals. And Nigel, I have read so many similar comments. People grab them, use them, They just work. I was hesitant and even skeptical at the start, having those embedded batteries that you can't change out, but after a year I'm still getting the full 60 hours or so. I think. I rarely charge them. They just work. And that's what tech should be. It should just work. Woo! How to check if a Kickr core is after fix, serial or no? Oh, look, I don't know. I really don't. If you're not confident in where you're buying it from, that they'd take a replacement if it does screw up, or if you think that Wahoo would still have shitty products on the shelf, I don't think they would. Feel free to reach out to them and ask though. I'd buy from somewhere that will take it back, but we've been a while down the road. Legacy's a bitch, isn't it? Even if they've solved the problem with the core, it'll always be brought up in conversation, always. That wasn't my mix bottle. This one is. How do I think we'll bring the Velta? To be honest, Ryan, I haven't even looked at the start list. Been a little preoccupied this week. Eurobike's coming up. And a few other things, so I haven't even looked at the start list. However, with the recent events, I will be up late at night quite often, so we will be watching the Volta. DJ Hunter bought the P1s earlier this year. Wish I got the Asiomas purely from aesthetic reasons. You always want what you don't have, mate. Spot on. Look, having said that though, mate, the P1s, they were the same as what... Look at this little group I got going here. This is awesome. I rode the P1s for probably a year. They were my go-to for accurate power. They still are if I'm on my other bike. P2s, well, P2s are the same pedals. That went on a little bit of a diet of 30 grams. But the P1s are fine. Oh, we're on the back of this climb. Solid little group we got going. This is good. So I wouldn't stress about having the P1s. Bloody good set of pedals. Here's a tip though. Probably 6 months before you were planning on getting rid of them, get rid of them. And they'll hold a little bit more value if the bearings are still okay. Oh, I've got someone's wheels sit on. But life is too short to have shit technology, so if you have a trainer that you want to upgrade, just upgrade. If you have a set of pedals you want to upgrade, do it. Put the cash down and get it done. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, winter is coming for you guys. And I don't feel sorry at all because we've had a pretty long winter here. So buy now. Trainers are on the cheap at the moment because Eurobike's coming up. Only buy a trainer if it's a really good bargain. And you won't regret it. Can I use a Wahoo heart rate with a Garmin watch? Asks Connor Tyndall. Well, let's have a look. Garmin watch, Wahoo heart rate monitor. Oops, software automatically updated to 2.7. How about that? Wrist heart rate, no. I know it's going to work. I just want to prove it to myself as well. Add new, search all sensors, searching for nearby sensors on the 945. We'll give it a moment. Buy now or wait for after Eurobike. Oh, it's a tough one. Depends what brand you're looking at. Oh, there goes the green screen. Get back. Hang on, let me just fix my little temporary. This is called multitasking. Trying to get a workout in. Okay, heart rate, select to add, done. Wahoo Kickr X heart rate strap, Garmin 945, paired, job done. Please use that. My little green screen. Come on, buddy. A bit drunk. Go home, green screen, you're drunk. We'll see if that lasts. Okay. Auntie Bob. Hey Shane, love the channel mate, keep up, but soon you'll hit the 100k. Yeah, we're getting there. So we'll slowly get to 100k. I find a discrepancy between the aciomas and Kickr core. I run the acioma as power on Zwift. Okay. If the core or the acioma are reading different, there's a reason why. Finding out that reason is the hard part. Is it the duo or the uno? If it's the uno, there's one answer that's probable. Left-right balance. If they're the duo and they're installed correctly, 0 offset, latest firmware, then I'll be looking at the Kickr core, doing an advanced spin down or a spin down, and going from there. But don't accept power that's any further out than the percentages that they sell you. Hey, another subscriber. And I have a little llama dancing on my Kickr climb. Cheers. One more minute to go. Come on. I have to constantly spin down the core to get them close. The core should only really need to spin down every 6 weeks, depending on the environment that it's in. Hot, cold, sweaty, humid, all that jazz. If you want to get really funky, and I won't advise this, take the belt off and effectively service it. But I didn't advise you to do that. That'll just reset everything. Make sure the belt's not too loose and causing issues. Whew. Where are those rock piles? There we go. More subscribers, man. That's flying along. I really appreciate those. That helps the YouTube algorithm. You can put out good content or informative content. It's good, but it doesn't really matter. It's the subscribing, it's the comments, it's the likes, even the dislikes. It's that content interaction that keeps YouTube happy. So I appreciate those subscriptions. You don't have to watch every video, that's okay. I'll do that for you. I'll watch every video about 3 times to make sure I don't screw up. But if it just happens to be that the video of the topic of the day is something that applies to you, cool, I'm happy. I'm still learning too. A few failed videos this week. Actually, I was getting pretty frustrated with I have a list of things I can cover, things that I've been tinkering around with or testing or using, and I want to put together and share that information out there. But if I can't repeat it, then it's not worth doing. And there's a few this week that just didn't work. So, the support tickets are in. Woo! Up we go. See, there's not too much delay for that at all. That's a little bit there. But just, it reminds me to look at the screen and look at the resistance that's kicking in and kicking out. That's cool. I like it. Drops the power up. And brown. Beautiful kit. Hump day ride kit. $3.5 million drop safety bike. It's crazy, isn't it, how much they charge for that bike? It was only $1.5 million, I think, originally. I don't know what happened, but they put it up. The price way up. Whew. Sorry, I've missed some questions here. How often should I calibrate my Doretto? Let me think. The Doretto was pretty damn accurate. My original Doretto was, I think originally it was 2, plus or minus 2%, maybe plus or minus 2.5. 2, I think. Close enough. And it was well within that, if not better than 2% plus or minus, which is what, within 98% or whatever. It's weird how they do the calculation there. To answer the question though, Doretto, I do it once. This thing's bucketing me around. I do it once when you get out of the box, probably once every few months, depending on use. The Doretto is usually pretty damn good. That was my original one for 2 years ago, so it's pretty impressive. Trainers from 2 years ago, still giving us the tick of approval. One thing to remember with the Doretto, it has that working range flywheel zone for erg mode, so the small ring on the front, the small flywheel speed, that's the word I'm looking for? Yep. Small ring on the front for erg is usually better on the Doretto for it to hold you in those zones correctly. Woo! And down. This is giving it a workout. And up. And down. Would love to see a dinosaur on Titan's Grove with a bicycle in its mouth. Damn. This is getting a workout. I think the dinosaurs should chase runners. That'd be funny to see. Or dinosaurs on the road or something. We should be in the rubber duck territory soon. Can I calibrate a kicker core after a 2-hour ride? I lost the time and said the temperature was 45 degrees. Yep. Is that too warm to make it accurate? No. You'll notice when you do a spin down on the kicker, this ready? It'll have a temperature number there, so within the calculations of their spin down should be temperature compensation. So that should be taken into account. Can you use the Kickr CLIMB with rocker plates? Yes, and it's really good. The one thing with side-to-side motion, which this trainer doesn't really have, it's a bit of flex in the bike. Rocker plates are like this, whereas out on the road, your bike folds. Does that make sense? More than just slops side to side. So when you have the climb on a rocker plate and it frees up the front end, it's better. Absolutely better. And if your rocker plate is as high as your rocker, if your climb is elevated like your rocker plate, or you have one of those big SBR ones, that's your whole bike, plonk it on top, job done. Why not multi-stream Twitch, for example? Because nobody on Twitch gives a shit about Zwift. There's no one there. Search Twitch or Mixer, wrong demographic. I've been searching for ages trying to find streams just to watch in my spare time. It's not there. If anything, a multi-stream to Facebook would be where it's at on my GPLama page, so I can answer questions over there, but sometimes there's this much work to do and this much time, so I don't worry about double streaming. I'm conscious of spamming people with crap too. I'm aware that Wahoo users don't want to know anything about Garmin. Garmin users don't want to know about Wahoo stuff. Facebook users don't really give two shits about live streams, so I've got to be careful not to be too annoying. If the audience was there, then yeah, absolutely, that's where I would be. That's why I'm on here. To be honest, I have no keyboard. I have no ability to do a U-turn. That didn't take the required time. Okay, we're back. We are back. Hey, Veronica Micic and company. Is someone sleeping, Veronica? Let me know, please. I hope someone's sleeping. If not, crank up the music. Back on the Titans Grove again for a bit of rodeo. Let's get it done. It's a good little session, just that rolling course. Aha. Scott asks, what do I think the future compatibility is built into the Neo 2? Bloody good question. We don't know. The Neo 2 is 10 months old now. And what Scott's referring to there is when the Neo 2 came out, one of the marketing things was, first of all, the pedal stroke analysis. And we're all, yes, extra features. It only works with their software. For now. Hopefully they'll open that up soon. And then they also mentioned, if you read between the lines of a few little, it wasn't mentioned a lot, but there was onboard memory or onboard storage on the Neo 2. And we speculated what it was going to be used for. And we still don't know. I thought it was going to be something around preset modes, but how do you then access that? So let's just say my 5x5 session, 2x20s, maybe the Lama ultimate warm-up that I've done in the past. Maybe they can be preset, but how do you select those without having one of these? And if you've got one of these, you've got full control of the trainer anyway. So I'm not sure if that was it. Still waiting. Maybe we keep an eye on Eurobike? I don't know. I don't know. But as long as they keep releasing firmware for it, unlocking those features of things we've spent our money on, it's happy days. The Duretto does have pedaling dynamics, or spin scan or pedal scan. The Duretto has a 12-point measurement of your pedal stroke. The Drivo 2, I think the Drivo and Drivo 2 have a 24-point pedal scan. But, and like all technology, here comes the but. You can only use their app to see it. But not all is lost. You can use their app off to the side for your spin scan analysis and still have your trainer on Zwift or Trainer Road, Sufferfest, Ruby, you name it, whatever you like. Over Ant Plus. So you have the Bluetooth for your spin scan stuff, Ant Plus for control and everything else, and away you go. Elite Suto, work in progress. It's coming, work in progress. The Suto is still pre-release, I believe it's not in stores. I don't think so, I'm not too stressed about getting one of those videos out. We know it exists. Des, Ray, both put out first looks. I'm sticking it on the anvil and putting it to the sword. So soon on the Suto. What do I think will be the next big thing at Eurobike? E-bikes. Unfortunately, e-bikes are fun. They have taken over Eurobike though, because of this. There's a shit ton of money in the motors and the bikes and the componentry with e-bikes. So that is where the next big thing is, and has been for probably the last 2 years. But for us roadies, don't know. Well, Specialized aren't there, Canyon aren't there, Giant are kind of there I think with Shimano, Eurobike's a really weird one now. It's not the place where all of the bike industry is. Most of them are there. But, I don't know. I've been joking. Is it the year of the smart bike? Because last year was meant to be the year of the smart bike, and the year before that was the year of the smart bike. Von says, show me the climb. He's down there, Von. So I'm not sure. Any updates on the Neo or Kickr Eurobike? Well, Neo 2 wasn't even launched at last year's Eurobike. The Neo 2 was about 2 months later. So, we'll have to wait and see is the only answer you're going to get from me. And then on the flip side, Wahoo have released a Kickr every year since 16, 17, 18, 14 lasted 2 years. But the Kickr 18 was probably the biggest change, flywheel size and silence, so I don't know. It's the year of Linux on the desktop. Hell. Geeky Lucas, mate. That is spot on. If that happens, the news articles will get /dotted. Everyone will be linking to them. That's good. Okay, Scott asks, whee! So I'm still like a kid in a candy store with the climb going up and down. How are Zwift drops accumulated? Distance, effort, or a combination of both? Scott, it's like the KFC secret. Is it 11 herbs and spices? They won't tell us. It's a combination of effort, so power, which I'm guessing will be watts per kilo, because absolute power is not normalized. Watts per kilo is normalized as everything. If you're on a gradient, there's a multiplier. If you've been given a thumbs up, there's a multiplier. I'm not sure if they're cumulative. I'm about to get back to 100,000 drops after wasting or spending all my money on this crappy bike. Ready? We're going to tick over. So it's about hard efforts and riding up hills and getting ride-ons. But there's no specific... It catches me out. It's like the radar. When you're riding along out in the road and you're just in your own little world, beep beep, okay, car back, cool, no worries. The climb is just reminding me I'm actually on a gradient rather than just a resistance change. It's cool. Okay, more questions. What could be the reason the Neo 2 reads lower power and watts, about 20 or 30 watts connected to Zwift and the Asioma Duo connected? Ask Stefan. Okay, Stefan. There's a million reasons why. If that's your Neo 2, grab the serial number, grab the place of purchase, and please contact tax support. Tell them that I sent you. If you want, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, no, I'm dead serious. Contact tax support with that, as much information as you have, and you will get a resolution to that. And let me know how you go. I want to make sure the advice I'm giving out and I've been told is correct and is actionable. And I want to make sure people have as much fun as I do. Well, maybe not on a climb like this, but as much fun as you want to have with accurate equipment. Oh, 2 minutes of this, I'm going to have to take a seat. Big ring. See, if the Di2 was integrated, I could see what gear I was in. That'd be cool. I'll get to the questions in a sec. Can I do a Lama Hits level 50 ride? PBNZ, I'm assuming you're a Kiwi. That's a great idea. I like it. You know, if I go long enough tonight, we'll get there. But given New Zealand is probably 9:15, it'll be past your bedtime and mine. David Bateman, spot on. Drops a calculator by time, effort gradient, and ride-ons. I think I've been given the hint of primarily it's your effort. Wow, where are those rocks? It's that little pile of rocks up the road. If we go full screen, can we see them? See, I'm just out for a ride tonight, not a training session. But these little bumps in the road give me something to do. It's an unstructured interval session. Come on. Oh! I was trying to trick the flywheel. You can't trick a flywheel. Those weighted flywheels, that was an easier gear, spinning up and it bit straight away. I couldn't get on top of it before it gripped that resistance. That's a good thing. That is a good thing. Woo. David's done some research on it. Awesome. I'm just looking at the comments over here. Thanks, Ben. Disc brakes or rim brakes for the road? For flat road, doesn't matter. Up a hill, rim brakes because you're not going to be using them. Bombing a descent, all day, every day, discs. All day. Even better, hydro discs. Over in Adelaide at the Tour Down Under, this bike was only a few weeks old. And I've been to Adelaide for the last... How many years have we been going over there? Ron, lots. Because if you haven't been to the TDU, come to the TDU in January, book your tickets now and get there. It's the best week on a bike ever. And the weather's bloody hot. But I know the hills around there. We've raced those hills, raced around those hills, trained on those hills. And I love a good descent, so I took this bike over with the hydro discs, which means you can just brake with one finger. Bloody brilliant. You're not going to get superpowers. You're not going to be able to dive bomb corners faster, or you kind of can, or brake much later because you're still limited to the contact patch. Your tyre contact on the road, your tyre pressures, tyre types, your bike handling is what it's all about. But the one key thing is that you know what you're going to get, whether you're at the top of the climb, just starting your descent, or you're 10 k's into a windy descent, you can still pull that finger in and you've got brake there. One thing, if you're descending on alloy rims, carbon rims even worse, with softer brake pads, you kind of have to grab a brake first and know where your brakes are and how much squish you've got. If your wheels are super hot with rim brakes, it's not that it can't be done. And we've descended for years and years and years with rim brakes, mostly successfully. Sometimes not. But it just removes the need to... It's kind of like automatic steering in a car. Maybe you lose a little bit of feeling. There's nothing like the feeling of knowing where your rim brakes are with that cable brake. You can really feel... And if your wheel's a little bit out of true, you can feel... Does anyone know what I'm talking about with descending like that? You're right on that limit. But with discs... Well, your wheels sort of never really ever out of true with discs. Not in the braking section anyway, much. Yeah, and it's true, you can lock them up easy if you want. You can lock either up. But, look, discs are heavier, there's no question about that. But they are a designed system for braking, that's it. Whereas rimmed brakes, that's the structure of your wheel. So... Anyhow, back to the questions. I'll only go through to about the hour for the live stream. I can rabble on all night long. But I've got someone else I have to attend to as well. Hey Von, let us know in the chat if everything's good. I might ride for a little bit extra though, but I do appreciate people don't want to sit here and watch me ramble too much. The questions. Okay, sorry if I've missed anything. The questions I see on the screen here. Choice of being a data unless you see data and you want to know more. Good stuff, Dave. I like it. I did have somebody say on the Shimano base power meter report that I did. I'm not a numbers person in mathematics or anything. I'll just sort of do what I can figure out with my IT background. And I think someone into statistics looked at that and said, yeah, that's as good as you're going to get, as in analysis-wise. So I was pretty happy with that. Okay, when I'm in erg mode on the Kickr, with a small front ring and the biggest rear cog, the road feel feels unrealistic. But as the cog gets smaller, the road feel gets better. Is this how it should be? Asks, and I'm sorry if I butcher your name, Chevel Lim. Chevel, flywheel speed impacts the ride feel for sure. If you search on here on YouTube, erg mode, does gearing impact erg? Hang on, I'll find it for you. One second. I've done a video on this a while back because you've absolutely nailed something that exists. GPLama. That's right, I don't have a keyboard anymore, so you'll have to take my word for it. GPLama flywheel speed, GPLama erg mode. If you can't find it, comment somewhere. Hit me up on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram and I'll link you to it. But I've done a video on exactly that. Michael's nailed it though there. If you spin the flywheel up, it feels like you're on top of the gear. So in short, big flywheel speed, 53.11 on the back, flying along. It feels like you're on a downhill tailwind on top of the gear. Just pushing the pedal over. It just takes a little stab on the pedals with high power. A slower flywheel speed, you need to push over top a lot harder. Just like climbing a really steep hill. Bingo, Dave. Thank you. Does gear selection matter? Now, I'd go back and rename those videos to something a little bit more searchable friendly. What happens on YouTube, as soon as you rename a video or change things too much, it gets re-indexed and sunk to the bottom. So I'll leave that tick there and hopefully people can find it. All Ian asks, can you perform a power calibration on the Diretto on Zwift? I don't believe you can do any calibration on elite trainers on Zwift. I believe it needs their e-training app. I think. Elite may correct me if they're listening. I've always done it on the company's app though, just to be sure. What course am I currently running and whereabouts am I? Titans Grove. And we are at the, well, according to my map, the southern end. But if you want to ever join with me on a ride, such as one of these, add me as a friend on Zwift. And then when you start Zwift, it'll say ride with, and you can click on me. And away we go. But God help you if I'm doing a 450 over and under session and you're trying to hold the wheel. Or I'm doing only 200 and you want to ride 350. I'm not going to be able to keep up. Days off to have dinner, mate. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for the comments. I really appreciate that. That's what makes these live sessions really handy. People adding their 2 cents and making everyone the wiser. I love it. Thanks, Sue. Thank you for coming along. Super stoked with the 3 of us. Well, last week I started the hump day ride and there was only 2 of us in the family. Before 12 o'clock that night, and there was 3 of us. So I blame the hump day ride. Bacon has something to answer for. Yeah, U-turn because I don't have a keyboard. There we go, doing it via the app. Press and hold on the app. You can't just tap that U-turn on the screen there. You have to press and hold for that to be activated. Okay, I think I'll just ride back to the other end of Titans Grove and we'll call it a night. I said I was only going to go to the hour. As usual, I get tied up talking crap, and I like it. Took hump day a little bit too literally. Don't know what you're talking about. It was delivered by FedEx, like all my trainers. Well, actually, it came faster than a lot of the trainer deliveries. It really did. Paul asks, well, he states, he just pulled the trigger on a Garmin 530. Did you go too soon? That's a 530. It's going all right. Lots of firmware's out since release. Lots of fixes. It should be all right, and Garmin have got a pretty good support policy, so if you do encounter any terminal issues, I'll look after you. Enjoy it. Let us know how you go. Find one of the videos I've done and comment on that. I see all the comments that come through across all the videos, so let me know how it goes when you got it. Okay, so now the climb is just, that's what I've got. I know it going up and down, up and down. Now when I take it away, I'm gonna want it back. It was only a last minute thing to put the extra little image in there too. It's come out really good. Alrighty. Michael states, I believe every Zwift approved trainer should have built-in, easily accessible calibration on Zwift, especially if we are e-racing. Yes. Yes. 100%. But what you want is a trainer that's Lama lab test approved. That's a harder certification to pass. I think the core gets a tick of approval now that the firmware is pretty solid with the sprints. Not perfect, but a lot better than what it was. Oh, hills. We need more pain cave porn. Good question or good statement. A lot of people are asking about different setups. Must be becoming, well, the end of summer up there. So a lot of people are hitting up my older videos about pain cave setups. So I think I should look back to that just to help everyone out. A few start from scratch videos or something. But even if you've got a pain cave, you can always learn tips. I do the same. Watching other videos and finding out how other people do things. Different flooring types, fan positions, all the works. One thing I do need though is a new computer. I'm getting USB surges with 8 devices hanging off this Alienware. Rim brakes for Spain, disc brakes for the UK. Is that for the weather? Must be. Yeah, DJ Hunter, regarding the spin downs, yeah, it looks like the elite trainers need their elite apps for that. In which case you unpair the controllable trainer. Oof, up we go. Good spot too. So the spin down calibration thing, spin down spanner, wrench is the word we use elsewhere, is still there, possibly if you're paired via FEC. But that shouldn't be there. I agree. They could. Oh, T-Rex up. I was going to try and get different camera angles, but my keyboard's not working. Lama approved list of devices. Whew. Super Curo Tube asks about the Kickr core. Is it reliable? The one I'm riding now is the one I was riding just after Eurobike last year, so mine has been. Oi! What was that going over me? As mentioned already in this video, Legacy's a bitch. If 10 people bought a Kickr core and one person had a bad experience, that's all you'll hear. Purchased locally or from somewhere who'll have your back. Feel free to reach out to Wahoo and ask their warranty or confirm that they're no longer selling dud units. I've had no problems with this one though. But anybody getting to their 4th and 5th, that's a people problem. Don't go any more than 3rd. It's the baseball rule with tech. 3 strikes. Companies should get 3 goes. First one, damage in transit. Second one, shit, that's a bit of bad luck. If your third one breaks, stop. Stop there. Anything else is just to get on the forums and tell people you're on your 4th and 5th. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't support a company. Even if they want to keep supporting you and keep sending you more stuff. What a horror story if you're on your 4th or 5th. 3. 3's it. Because then it's just a game of bloody roulette. How many chambers in one of those guns? Where's a pterodactyl? Right. Another 2 minutes of this. Alright, let's do a strength thing. Some low cadence work in. For no other reason than it's just something different. You're on your 4th NBN. Well. So you're still with NBN, that's the problem. Having said that, I'm on NBN, it's fine. But we picked our location because of it. Okay, what graphics card? This is a 960. In a really tiny Alpha R2. So it's not that good. It's not 4K. Which reminds me, somebody asked, is Ultra versus 1080 better in Zwift? Yeah, it is. It's a lot better. "90 seconds. Oh, loading the legs up. I can drop the feather. There we go. Feather doping. Then we have about a 5-minute cool down after this, over the top. It's a neat little route. Power numbers lining up, good, good. Any questions, fire away. I'll just be chilling for the last 5 or 10 minutes. Happy to answer any questions people have. Or stories you want to tell. Go for your life. There we go, see? I didn't have a training plan on the menu. Didn't have anything set, but just, you know, let's whack it in the big ring and get up the climb. It's good enough training for now. Alrighty, let's have a drink. You can get these questions. Favourite tunes during a ride? It really depends. Really depends. At the risk of ridicule, Billie Eilish, the composition of Billie Eilish's tunes, and it's not just her, it's her brother who works on them as well, probably primarily works on them. The audio of Billie Eilish's tunes are awesome. The sound effects and the little tiny subtle, really good, really good. Listening to Billie Eilish in noise cancelling headphones, you just pick up on all these little tiny scraping things that just, yeah, I don't know, it's really cool. I like that. But anything from Aussie music, The Prodigy, what else? What's on my list? What's on my list? If I go over to YouTube. What have we got? Okay, Billie Eilish. Utah Saints, the original Utah Saints, something good. How good is that? You click on that and then you go a playlist. Hilltop Hoods, there we go. Post Malone. Old Town Road plus the mix from that. So random for music. And what else is on my list here? Just wherever that heads from there. If you go YouTube mixes, like you play one song and then you press go, it'll give you a different mix, which are pretty cool. Okay, is it possible to cheat biomechanics by strapping waist to frame with a belt? That's a really good question. Okay, if I get you what you're talking about correctly, so on a bike when you're pushing down, your body's getting pushed up. I think the East Germans? Who were they? In a time trial, actually strapped themselves from their waist to the top tube of their frame. Google it, I'm sure it's there. So they could pull back and push up. I don't think so. There's no such thing as free energy. Whether it's more efficient would be where the energy comes from. Have a look at this bear, it's going to fall out of the tree. Already, we'll sit here and wait for the bear to fall, because it is pretty funny. Hey, camera angle. Ready? He's just behind me, he's going to fall. So yeah, I don't think it's there mechanically. You're not going to be able to cheat. There goes the bear. You're not going to be able to cheat anything physiologically. Efficiency is probably where it's at, and I think they've banned that anyway. Am I training for anything in specific or potentially in the future? Ask Edward. My next Lama lab test. If I can get through the next Lama lab test with the erg modes and the overs and unders, I'm happy in a couple of sprints. That's what it's about. It's taking up a lot of my time at the moment. So no racing at the moment. There we go. Jeff, is it? Purchased a Kickr Core a couple of weeks ago. First smart trainer and love it. There we go. Good news story for the Kickr Core. And +1 for someone who hasn't had any issues. And I hope it stays that way. Good morning from the USA. You guys awake already? East Coast? Has to be East Coast. The bear never learns. There's no AI in that bear, is there? If it was AI, I'd come out and eat the riders going past, but only the sprinters, because the climbers are going to be too bony. That'd be pretty funny. Okay, can I tell Nicole Beck that running a 10-speed TT bike and a Kickr Core with 11-speed cassette is bad for both? I ran an 11-speed and a 10-speed for a while. It was pretty chunky. It's not good for it, I'll give you that. It's not good for it. If you stick in the one gear on the TT bike, if you want to stick, say, mid-cassette, and you're doing erg, and that's okay. But if you're in sim mode going up and down the cassette, it's not going to be pretty. But the answer there is for Matt to actually change that out for you. And make sure you've got the right cassette matched with your bike. Or to buy you a Kickr with the correct cassette. And a climb. While you're at it, have this much fun. This is going up and down. Somebody asked before, does Junior Lama have a bike yet? No. Junior Lama doesn't even know he has legs yet, or arms. We'll wait for those pathways to get fused first. Strider bikes and attacks Magnum. Yug, mate. Imagine the cost of that. Here's a $10,000 trainer for a little Strider bike. You'd probably be able to tilt it on an uphill and like string the bike on like one of those Orica trainers, but from the front rather than the back. Just have the kid do some uphills. East Coast, there we go. Also got a Kickr Core. Awesome. Hey, look, for the mid-range training, the Kickr Core is still doing pretty well. I got on the other day, testing out a few things in the climb on this course, and you throw your leg over and you ride. And it goes up and down. It's a pretty good ride. Does a 9-speed cassette fit on the Kickr Core? Yep, absolutely. The Kickr Core, well, Wahoo were way ahead of their time. Even the Kickr 14 the very first Kickr came out with an 11-speed compatible cassette, which means for 10-speed you need a 1.8mm spacer. 9-speed, is it the same? Maybe another spacer behind that. It's in the book, it's in the manual. This game is better than PUBG. So you're saying I should be over on Twitch? Oh, hang on, Mixer's where the crew's at, isn't it? Didn't Ninja move over there? Imagine what that was worth. Damn. So for Ninja to move everything over from Twitch, just to Mixer, exclusively. Millions. Ah, good on him. Good on him. That's a win. That's a win at life, isn't it? Baby Walker foot pod. There we go. Zwift running. There we go. Yug has some. That's some good info there about the strapping your waist and back down to the top tube wouldn't change a thing because the waist backs aren't even moving. You're not expending kilojoules. Yeah, so only if there's any loss, I guess, in going up, it would stop that. Desert Flats. Let's go back to the start. But I do like that they've tried that out and people have thought of that idea because it's about failing. You have to fail. Not everything is going to succeed. Some of the craziest bikes have broken or not worked. Even Lance and his Q Factor. I think he had a super narrow Q Factor bike in one of the tours. And it just wasn't good. But he tried it. He tried it. You have to do that. Paul, I'm one of my favourite Aussies apart from Kylie. Ah, Kylie. Come on, Guy Pearce. Come on, what about Guy? You're not into Peter Andre? Paul, if you're loving Kylie, you're going to have to be from the UK. With a name like Elkington, I think you'd be from the UK. Put me out of my misery where you're from. Let me know. The H2 is 35% off in the UK right now. Ooh, down to £650. And we're going to regret buying one in 2 months. Us. Let me murder that name. Griffies. The H2 just had a firmware update. So they're still producing firmware updates for it. That's cool. 5.58 was out, then 0.59 is now out for the H2. So update the firmware if you haven't done that and you purchased one. What's the date? 20th. Eurobike's in 2 weeks. I mean, if it's a good deal and you'll use it, there's no question. There's, just jump on it and ride. Don't let what could happen to me in the future dictate that. But Eurobike's in under 2 weeks. And hit subscribe. You'll know about it. If anything changes in any product lineup, bang, I'll be on here super fast. We may spin up Digital Peloton news again. Maybe, if I've got the time. But we'll be across what's new and what's released. Wahoo, Roam or Garmin 530. Mostly know where I'm going, but occasionally navigation would be useful. Ask Jamie Fox. Depends. If you've had a bad experience with Garmin, that's what puts a lot of people towards the Wahoo stuff. If you like the ease of use of setup, on the Roam is without a doubt easier to set up than a 530. The 530 is not touchscreen, and you have to do it on the head unit itself. You've got to go through all the menus. So it depends how finicky you want to get with things. It's hard making decisions for people. The best I can do is give my experience and cover all the tech features, and you pick out which tech features you want or are important, and go from there. If you travel a lot, and you want occasionally navigation, then you're going to have to load maps onto these things, either OSM or pay for the maps. If you saw my video the other day on the Element across the range, you just hit the maps that you want, download at home, you're done. They're there. Troy Collett, good to see you, mate. Prodigy playlist, hell yeah. Alright, we're going to 40Ks and we'll call it quits. because I could ride all night, and I usually do. Someone overtook me on a bright neon bike. What was that? That is the Tron bike, or known as the Concept Z1 bike, which you get if you select the Everest Challenge and complete 50 kilometers of climbing, 50,000 meters. So 50 kilometers of climbing. It's the Concept bike. I think we named it the Tron bike before it even had a name, and that stuck. 40 Ks. An hour 15. That was solid. That was solid. That was just jumping on, going for a ride. No plan, but that little hill at the in Titans Grove really kicked in, and you saw the climb going up and down. That's Christmas. It's so much fun. It just brings a few things to life. And I said before, is it essential? No. Do you need one to train? No. Is it worth it? Nothing's worth it in technology-wise, but if you took it away, you'd want it back. That's my yardstick on all of that. So alright, I'll call it a day there. Thanks everyone for coming along, and the questions, that's what these were all about for me, to have a chat to everyone and find out what people are buying or what people are asking about. Helps me figure out what videos I should do and what things I should be looking into as well. So I enjoy it. So anyway, have a good one. It is Tuesday. I'll be back on here hopefully tomorrow night for the Hump Day ride. I probably won't stream that. We'll just get it done and have a chat in game. So yeah, keep an eye out for the Hump Day ride about this time. Actually be finishing up this time tomorrow night. All right, again, appreciate all the likes, and Von appreciates all the comments too. Yeah, we've had an addition to the family this weekend. We're pretty proud of that, so that's all good. And things like that, subscribe right there, that helps. So again, lots of love from us all. We'll see you soon.